So, if you have that little voice inside you telling you, go for it, do it, do that, you know that thing, you know what I'm talking about, but your mind says, oh no, that is illogical. No, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it's like in Star Trek, how those Vulcans, they're highly logical species and they act upon logic, not emotion. Well, our true guidance is more connected to our heart, to our gut, how some people say, gut feeling, than to our mind. And what happens often is our heart says, well, you also can call it, that little voice, the little thing in the back of your head is not really your mind. It's just that little itch, feeling that says, yeah, it's pulling you. It's like telling you, yes, come to me. And your mind goes, no, it's not possible. It's illogical. There's no reason to that. Yeah, it's our ego, right? Usually. And it always finds reasons why not to follow whatever it is that little voice says. But our true guidance is really connected to our emotions, to our heart calling, and we just have to let that voice be louder than our mind. And what helps usually is a change of perspective. So this is what kind of helps me. For me, for example, it really helps if I physically move. Like if I go for a little vacation, a little trip, it doesn't have to be much. It can be literally go to town, like make a change of your environment, or go somewhere for a weekend. And when you come back, you're gonna have that fresh head. And also the distance can help. Like if you immerse yourself in another environment for a week or 3 days, things shift. You kind of forget your routine and your everyday life, and it allows you to relax. What really just means when you relax, your mind also kind of relaxes. And so when you get back, you can get a fresh set of eyes, a fresh point of view on something that was really in question. But if you can't physically move, to get to change a perspective, there is one great analogy that helps me. I love it so much. I always use it to describe the difference in perspective. So think about it like this. Like imagine there is this building and you live on the first floor, and your whole world, everything you know about the world is on that first floor, and what you can see through your point of view, which is kind of low. You're on the first floor, and therefore you can only see one side of the world, right? And you can see only the things that are in front of you right now. So let's say that it's kind of limited point of view. But so imagine that this building is, right, it has it has like, let's say it has infinite number of floors, and there's a magical elevator there. So what you will do, go into that elevator, and for starters, press a button that says 100. So let's go to 100th floor for the beginning, like for now. And get up at the 100th floor, and there's like this rooftop view, let's put it that way. Go on there, get up there, and get on that rooftop of the 100th floor, and now look at the view. Look how different it is. Now imagine it. You can see 360 view of everything around you. Now, imagine how wide and broad that point of view is. If your life on the first floor was condensed onto that floor and that point of view, imagine what kind of life and possibilities open up right now. And if you go even further, I don't know, go to a 1000th floor, for example. It's an imaginary building. You're probably somewhere, I don't know, almost like out there in the atmosphere of the earth. You can probably see from that point of view maybe a little bit of the whole earth now, because you're that high. And imagine this perspective. Now you can see not only what's in your city, but you can maybe see a whole continent now, what's surrounding it. You can see like the horizon 360 around you, and curvature of the earth maybe. And maybe you can even see a little bit out there in the space, like it's starting to show. So imagine this perspective. And since this is imaginary building and there are unlimited number of floors, the point of view is limitless. How far do you want to go? How much more do you want to see? Don't be, don't stay in the limited point of view. Go up there and free yourself. It will help you remember that all those problems that you have in your life, all those things that look very complicated and hard and that you're probably using as an excuse to start whatever you want to start, to do whatever you want to do, from a higher point of view, suddenly they may sound and look a little bit funny, a little bit ridiculous. They are small. They are like, are these really a problems? No. Look at this. Look at what I can see from here. So, changing perspective is healthy because it pulls us away from the center of our problems. Sometimes, because everything seems to happen with us in the center of it, right? We have a hard time disassociating from it, and therefore we react from a limited point of view, from just these pieces of puzzles that are right here in front of us, and forget that this puzzle is much bigger. What helps usually is time. Time helps. So when things happen and there's like a 5 or 10-year distance between things that happened, Usually only then we can look back and say, right, I can see now. And why that happened? Or I can look at that moment when I was very frightened and, I don't know, scared. I couldn't move, I couldn't do what I wanted to do, or that's how I felt. Right now, after 5 years, 10 years, I don't know, 2 years, 6 months, oh, I can look back now because it's not happening anymore. And now it's easier to, see it with fresh set of eyes, without attachment to it, right? So you don't have to wait for years to go by. You just remember that you have ability to change perspective right here, right now. Even if you can't physically move, you have your imagination. And your imagination is what creates everything. Your imagination creates your own world, your own reality. So if you can imagine being on a very top of imaginary building and having this wide perspective, I can guarantee you that practicing this will help you move forward quicker and easier, right? Remember this next time you find yourself in a situation that feels like there is like no movement, you can't find a decision, you can't find an answer to it, you don't know what to do. And if you can't physically go anywhere, try this, put yourself up there, wherever you want, on top of the mountain, and look from that perspective. All right, bye.